Hello, musical friends. Right, it looks like I'm on a roll because I just did Phil Collins' 12-inch vinyl collection yesterday, about 24 hours ago. It's now Wednesday morning, very early in the morning, on Wednesday, the April 13th, and I figured I would pick up where I left off yesterday because if I could have, I would have just gone all night and showed you the rest of the Collins collection that I have, which it would be my 7-inch collection. I'm going to do that now. Depending on how fast that goes, maybe I will, because I have it all here ready to go, Banks 7-inch and Rutherford 7-inch, kind of like in celebration of their last concert. So let's go to it. And of course, the first thing I have here is In the Air Tonight. Phil Collins, In the Air Tonight. All right, when this was released back in 1981, you can see it's just like the album because there's the back of his head, there's the front, same face. He's looking at you. And here's the back. Okay, so you get a special mix of In the Air Tonight on the A side, and The Roof is Leaking is the B side. This is the special release that contains the comic strip that Phil's brother, I think his brother's name is Clive, and Clive did this little comic strip, and you're probably familiar with it if you're big fans of Phil Collins. You know that blah 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 blah. Yeah, right. Yeah, there's a little comedy bit going on here. Right. So, of course, it's a little pocket. The record is in there. And here it is, In the Air Tonight. With that beautiful custom label. Here's The Roof is Leaking. That's the B-side. Yep. I have kept this in beautiful shape. I mean, like I said yesterday, I was a humongous fan of Phil Collins, and when he started his solo career, I was right on top of it, and tried to take real good care of it. Unfortunately, this thing got slightly smushed, probably moving from one place to another in a box. And some things you just can't avoid, so what are you gonna do? And you can see it got a little bit of a, well, you can't even see it really, but it did. It's very unfortunate. But I've had it for 41 years now. It's in pretty good shape for something that's 41 years old. No ring wear. And the record itself is in pristine condition. So, you know, you can only do so much, right? Oops. So, the second single is, of course, I Missed Again. And yes, he missed. So he missed again. Of course, I showed the 12-inch yesterday. Here's the 7-inch. I gotta say, I really do I do really like the pop sensibilities of these two tracks that are on here. I Missed Again. I really do like that tune. That's your custom label. And I'm Not Moving. I like I'm Not Moving. I think it's a great little tune. Yeah, there's a lot of pop sensibilities on his first solo album, on his second solo album, on all his solo albums. There's a real lot of pop sensibilities. Genesis started going in that direction with Then There Were Three Anyway, and Duke and Abacab. But I guess you could say Collins kind of led the way, and of course added those added the horn section. So, well, he didn't add it, but it was, I think that was a major influence by Phil to include to include those horns. So, and of course that bled over into Genesis. So, but you know, when you look back over what they've put out in their entire career, it's a really pretty good collection of albums and singles. Lots of good B-sides. And I know I said it yesterday. Oh no, I didn't say it yesterday. I'm thinking about something else. But there is one Genesis song that I'm not very fond of at all, and that would be Invisible Touch. If I hear it again, I think I posted on Facebook, if I hear that one more time, my head's going to explode. Now, of course I'm exaggerating, but you know, these things can happen, so you got to be careful. Anyway, so there's the second single. Here is the poster single release of If Leaving Me Is Easy. And I actually have a few copies of this. A blue label with the custom writing on it. And of course, it's it's an EP with 4 tracks. You have 3 demo tracks on the other side called Drawing Board, Collectively, and the interesting thing about this release, if you are, okay, I like to consider myself an archivist, archivist, I'm not sure how to say it, archivist, I'll say. The first pressing of this record, okay, has longer versions of all 3 of these demos, okay? For whatever reason, oh, and this is that one, looks like. For whatever reason, after they released the first pressing of this thing, somebody decided that all 3 of these demo tracks, which you play at 33 1/3, of course, because otherwise there was no way that they're going to fit this music in here playing it at 33 1/3. You have 3 tracks, and there were collectively they're about 15 minutes worth of music. So you're going to play it at 33. But anyway, first pressings, and to find out what that is, you look at the dead wax on the drawing board side and see if it says B1. All right, B1 in the dead wax right here. Right here, you see? That's the dead wax. And if it says B1, you have a record that will play the longer versions of the of those demo tracks. And this is information I have not seen this anywhere. I don't I actually, I think I might have posted it in Discogs, but I think I may have done that. I don't know if I did. I've posted all kinds of crap on Discogs. But anyway, that's the interesting thing about this. If it's not B1, it's going to end up playing the shorter versions. If it's B2 or B3 or whatever else is out there, because I don't know what's out there. Those are later pressings, and they're shorter edits. Okay? So, you have been warned. If you are a collector and you're looking for the longer versions of these songs, well, that's what you want to look for. And quite frankly, I'm really disappointed that they didn't include, keep the long versions available on here, or include them on the 12-inch. I don't know what the point was in making them shorter. I don't get it. Somebody was thinking way too hard, I guess, one day, and they just said, oh, you know what we need to do? And, that's what happens when you got too many people trying to justify their job. So, what are you going to do? So, I do have 4 freaking copies of this freaking record. 4. So there you go. Those were the 3 releases out of England of Phil Collins singles. Here is a, I actually have 2 copies of this too. It Must Be Love, and the B-side is Thunder and Lightning. This is an Italian single release on, well, that would be Atlantic Records. There you go, on Atlantic Records, all right. Beautiful condition. It was actually a cutout. This, you know what, people went nuts, I guess, when Phil's career started. I think all over the world, people were like, we're going to cash in on this. So Italy, different territories released different singles. And there's all kinds of cool stuff out there. If you like this guy's stuff, all kinds of different picture sleeves available out of different locations, different countries in Europe and Scandinavia and whatever. But anyway, so this is the Italian single of This Must Be Love at Thunder. Like, this was really easy to find and very inexpensive. All right, so moving along to Hello, I Must Be Going. There's Phil's second album is here is a domestic single of You Can't Hurry Love. Look how young he looks. And Do You Know, Do You Care is the B-side. Man, I love that song. It's got kind of a prog rock sound and sensibility to it. Here is I Don't Care Anymore, another great song with more of a prog influence, and The West Side. All right, I'm not taking these singles out because it's just an Atlantic label. So, Hello, I Must Be Going. Here is the, I believe that this is the first single out of England, Through These Walls. Why in the world they would have thought that this would make a good single? I don't know, man, because it's so creepy. But I don't know, it's like a real left turn. But they did put this out as a single, and here it is. And all of a sudden they decided, I know at the album, they kept that the concept of Phil's handwriting, but here, this is the first single that does not have Phil Collins' handwriting. So through these walls, and do you know, do you care? Do you know, do you care? What a great song that is, though. Do you know, do you care? And I think that these are both 5 minutes, and then the other one's 5 minutes, 5 seconds. So these are the album versions. These weren't even edited. All right, so sing it, my brother. So many duplicates of many of these early releases. Here is the picture disc of Through These Walls. These were like a dime a dozen too, and probably still are. I don't know. Did I not show this? All right, and here's the next release. Boy, this is all kind of. I don't think I had a 7. I had this on 7-inch for a long time, and not too long ago I picked this one up, and so it's not in the greatest condition because I didn't own it from day one. But anyway, what the hell, man? There is some, I don't know, didn't notice that. Anyway, You Can't Hurry Love, and I Cannot Believe It's True is the B-side of the 7-inch. Here's the picture sleeve, which is mangled to hell. And maybe I do have another copy of it down here someplace. Let me see. This is just... I'm surprised if I don't. And here you go. The picture discs keep coming. You Can't Hurry Love. It's kind of goofy picture disc. Like, could have done a better, I don't know, better art design for it for sure. I would think. So, but anyway, I have 2 of these. I have a lot of dupes. Here's another one. Here we go again. Don't let them steal your heart away. It looks like it's a 3D thing going on there. Like if you had some glasses, that would look like they were right in the room with you. I don't know what's the deal there. And here you go. Don't let them steal your heart away. And Thunder and Lightning. on the B-side of this single. I don't think that that's the case with the 12-inch. I think the 12-inch had something from the new album, and then it had that live version of And So to F. All right. There you go. And I have another copy of that very same record right here. And here I have Why Can't It Wait Till Morning. I think this was the last UK single release from this album. And the B-side is Like China. And a whole nother design, which is very difficult. It's very hard to read the information in there. That's really strange, but that's what this is. I wonder if this even charted. It's Why Can't I Wait Till Morning? I would have picked that as a single, but then I wasn't really in charge, so. And it's not that I didn't like the song, or not that I thought it was a bad song. I just didn't think it was a single. I think it ends side 1 of the album. I think, or maybe it ends side 2. I think it ends one of the sides. But anyway, we are now on their Phil's third album. And here's a domestic copy of One More Night. So a little bit of a tear towards the bottom here, so. And The Man with the Horn is the B-side, a non-album B-side. And it's just, oh. I have the special torn label version. This is very rare. It's really worth a lot of money. So if somebody is interested in the very rare torn label version of the single, the domestic American single here, I have it. There's only one, and I have it right here. If you're interested, get in touch with me down here. It's really hard to find because I have the only one, so you'd have to be right here in my room to find it. And you weren't invited, so. We are moving rather quickly here, so this is good. Look, here it is again, and matter of fact, here I have a regular version of it, One More Night, and The Man with the Horn. Man with the Horn's a great little spastic pop tune that that Phil Collins wrote, and I thought it might be about Miles Davis, but I could very easily be incorrect. But when I think of The Man with the Horn, I think of Miles Davis, which, by the way, maybe one of these days I'll do a video on my Miles collection. My digital Miles collection is just ridiculous, because look at this. It goes all the way to somewhere here. Oh, God, it keeps going. Oh, that's Davies. So I think it's right. Yep, right here. The Man with the Horn. All right, so here, here is a domestic copy of Against All Odds. And yeah, this domestic pressing of Against All Odds, it has Phil's hit on the first side, obviously, and then the B side, it has The Search by Larry Carlton. Oh, here's the A side. I don't know why I bothered to pull this out, because everybody knows what an Atlantic record single looks like. It's red with red and black, and Atlantic record singles have looked like that, I think, since 1972 or 73. So, and when is this? 1984. So, well, here, hold on a second. Let me fix something here. Oh. Oh, wow. Yeah, I want to fix something here. What the hell? So we'll stick with the yeah, these aren't in order like I should have prepared them to be. Here is again from the third album, Studio, and I Like the Way, another non-album B-side. All right. And of course, these are all probably out of order. I think this might have been the first single, actually. His face on it. And here is the fourth domestic single, Take Me Home. B-side is Only You Know and I Know. Surprised I didn't put We Said Hello Goodbye on the B-side, but then the domestic releases out of America and the US releases don't always match up. And here are, now we're talking about the British releases. And here is Studio. And I took real care in these records. And now remember album number 2, they stopped using the Phil Collins handwriting on the singles. Well, they're back to it with album number 3. Hello, I Must, no, not Hello, is it Hello I Must Be Going? Now I'm forgetting what the albums are. No Jacket Required. Duh. So you get The Man with the Horn on the B-side. And it's a very nice little record. I like the singles collection from out of England. because I think that they make a nice little set. And I say it all the time, I love it when they use custom labels on their records, whether it's an album or a single. And with these singles, they did exactly that. Here's One More Night. One More Night. And I Like the Way is the B-side. Of course, you get this, you know, same style of label. So there you go. And maybe you saw yesterday in yesterday's video that 6-inch picture disc of this song, One More Night. And there was that plinth that you can make, you can build. Here is that very plinth. I'll be honest, man, I don't like saying that word plinth. I don't know why, but I just don't like saying it. I think it's a dumb word, and I'm never saying it again. Cardboard stand is what I'm going to say, and I'm putting it back in here. You bastard. He's giving me a hard time. See? That's I hate it. I hate these stupid things that they will produce for you to collect, and then I'll go and collect it. But now how do I store it? Well, I figured out a way to do it. But it's annoying. Here is Take Me Home. With We Said Hello Goodbye on the B-side. All right, you saw this yesterday. If you saw this yesterday, you saw this yesterday. And here's your side A. Taken off. Taken home. Okay, Take Me Home. And We Said Hello Goodbye is on this side. It's easier to burn through these singles a little bit quicker than those 12-inch records. You just got to be really careful in how you handle them. I mean, the 12-inch records, you got to be careful with them. Here is, see these ding-dongs? They find a way to get you to buy things twice. So, all right, they had a special 2 for the price of 1, right? So you get Take Me Home, and We Said Hello Goodbye. It's identical. This picture sleeve and the record are exactly the same as what I just showed you, but here you get probably what was overstock of Against All Odds. What I like about the British version of Against All Odds is it's kind of a really cool Genesis collectible, because you get on the A side you get Against All Odds, you get Phil's hit song, and on the B side is a Mike Rutherford track, Making a Big Mistake, which was on the LP soundtrack, but here you can get it right here on a single, and then you don't really need the LP soundtrack. Holy shoot. Whoa. This thing is an ugly mess. This is hideous looking. Wow, both sides. Ooh, I don't know why that is. I wonder if it's because of that plastic. The whole thing looks crappy. Wow. Can you see how dull? There's like a there's like this awful pattern, like this record looks like it's wrecked, like like it won't even play. I have a feeling it's from that plastic sleeve that both singles are inside of. Wow. Never noticed that before until just this moment. Wow, what a kick. Here, let's take a look at see if this thing even comes out. Okay, it comes out. And, oh, it's fine. It's just fine. So I wonder what happened there. What? All right, I'll have to investigate what happened there. Here we get one more single off the album. We Said Hello. I'm sorry. Don't Lose That Number. This is out of West Germany. This was a West German release. And on the B-side is We Said Hello Goodbye. So you get that song twice if you collect everything, like I do. And here is the British single of Against All Odds with the picture sleeve. And you can see here, Making a Big Mistake is the B-side, and of course this particular record is in pristine condition. And Making a Big Mistake is, it's you know, Mike Rutherford, for his first solo album, he had Noel McCalla singing lead, all right, on all the album tracks. And there's a couple of different edits and a one single B-side that's a non-album track. On his second album, Mike sang everything. Well, this is kind of like this. Making a Big Mistake sounds like something that could have been on his second record. Okay. And of course, after that, he was with the Mechanics. So here is Phil. Here's what the Philip Bailey's single, Easy Lover. And of course, it just sounds like a Phil Collins single with Phil singing backups and Phil drumming on it. It sounds just like it. It's on Columbia Records. Nothing special. This is a domestic release. What's on the B-side? Doesn't tell you. Easy Lover and Woman. It's a 5-minute track, Woman. It's actually longer than the A-side. All right. Here's another copy from another territory. Oh, this was I think that this is a British release. Is it? What the hell? Here, let me check this out. Yeah, London. Yep, and it's on CBS Records. Easy Lover. Back with Woman. on CBS. This is has a white label. Almost looks like it's a promo, but I don't think it actually is a promotional copy of the single. It just looks like one. Anyway, B-side is Woman, just like that domestic release. I'm still a little bit embarrassed about my Phil Collins collection. Here's something that's kind of an oddball thing, and I just got this. Phil Collins is on a record, a Jack Lancaster album. Jack Lancaster was associated with Brand X. He was on the Marscape album, and I think that he was also, he may have been featured on, shit, what the hell was that? Oh, Peter and the Wolf is what I was thinking of. Brand X, there were 2 Brand X albums associated. They have all of the Brand X personnel on it, the classic Brand X lineup anyway. And Peter and the Wolf is one, and Marscape is another. But anyway, Jack Lancaster put an album out, had a bunch of cool guests. Argent was on there, and there's a few other, I think Clive Bunker was even on there, drumming. But anyway, there's a song that Phil Collins sang on that album, and it was called Deep Green, and a one-sided single was released. I think this is a promotional, yeah, it's a promotional record with just this one song, Deep Green. Okay, I think it, you know what, I can't remember what year this thing was released, and I don't see the date on here. How convenient. So I don't know what the date was, but I found out about it, and I thought, you know what, let me pick one of these up before something happens to Phil, and then the value of this record goes up, because that's what happens when people drop dead. The value goes up, and then, you know, the demand goes up, so the value goes up. And I have no clue how many of these are out there, but this was not really very expensive, and there are a few left. If you look on Discogs, you can see that there are some left. I think this was a little bit noisy toward the beginning of the record, but then it cleared up towards the after about a minute and a half. It was real quiet. I let the seller know, and he actually sent me a rebate, a partial refund. So, and hopefully, maybe if I clean this up some more, it will actually, which is what they suggested. You should clean it some more, you know, so, but I'm going to try to do that, and we'll see what happens. But anyway, I did want to get this because it is kind of cool, standalone Phil Collins vocal performance, and it's actually a really pleasant song. Kind of soft, kind of quiet. Here is A Groovy Kind of Love from the Buster Ding Ding Ding. And this is on Virgin Records as well. Groovy Kind of Love. And Big Noise instrumental. I think on the album there's a vocal version of maybe the album soundtrack. There's a vocal version of Big Noise, but on here it's an instrumental, and I think that the instrumental is kind of cool. And a groovy kind of love. I don't mind it. It's you know, kind of a sappy tune, but I remember it from the, is it the Mindbenders? From when I was a kid. Bastard. All right, so there's that. And another British Virgin Records pressing, Two Hearts. Oops, it's a little flimsy. Two Hearts and The Robbery excerpt, conducted by Ann Dudley. I guess Phil was doing Ann Dudley a favor and put her on the B-side of this hit single so she would get some royalty checks, which is how that works. Here is Separate Lives, and the B-side is I Don't Want to Know. A Groovy Kind of Love. This is a domestic single, the Big Noise instrumental on it, and Two Hearts and The Robbery, same thing. Here is the 88 remix of In the Air Tonight and I Missed Again. And what did they do? Nothing special. It's on one of these silver pressed plastic labels, which I'm not much of a fan of, quite frankly. I like a paper label with some kind of cool design on it. And now we get to the 7-inch singles from his fourth album, But Seriously. Here is Another Day in Paradise. This is a domestic pressing with Heat on the Street. And surprisingly enough, Atlantic Records thought to change the label design, and it's they are copying the same concept where Phil Collins writes it all out. So there you go. Ain't that something? Another Day in Paradise. I always thought Another Day in Paradise was a really nice song, but a little preachy. But I mean, if anybody can help the homeless, it's this multimillionaire. Or maybe Jeff Bezos could throw him a few bucks. There I go again. I start to sound like a socialist or something, but man, if I had a boat, like if I had 15 trillion gazillion dollars, I'd be, here, you have some. How much do you need? I don't know. But anyway, because I'm not that ambitious. I don't really want to rule the world. I'm afraid to do that. I don't think I have the qualifications, just like all the other assholes who are trying. So, but anyway, that's a whole nother topic. We could talk about that some other day. Here is, so that was a domestic pressing. Here is a British import, British single of I Wish It Would Rain Down, and the home demo of what is that song? Another Day in Paradise. Homeless. That's the home demo of Another Day in Paradise. That's on the B-side. And you will see that this version of the single has got an ugly silver label too. Go figure that. The 12-inch records have paper labels, so I don't know what happened here. Maybe this is a later pressing. That's very possible. Because by the time this album came out, I was not actively seeking the vinyl releases. I was collecting their CDs and CD singles, which I guess I don't think I did. I guess I didn't do that yet. So maybe I'll do that video coming up sometime pretty soon. Here's Something Happened on the Way to Heaven. This is a slightly beat up copy because it is later, and it's got the same ugly silver label. So the B-side is another demo, I Wish It Would Rain Down. You know, without those paper labels, you can't keep with the that concept with Phil's handwriting. So I don't know what happened with Virgin Records then. Here is Hanging Long Enough. This is another British single, and this record has a nice label. It's got Phil Collins in handwriting, but the rest is in just regular, straight font. And the B-side is a track, Around the World in 80 Presets. It's an instrumental tune. I think it's an instrumental tune, if I remember correctly. It's on a CD single that I have. It is on vinyl. It's only available, I believe, on this record here, on the B-side of Hanging Long Enough. So, and it's cool instrumentals or non-album B-sides that I like. That's the reason I like to score these singles. And, sometimes also for the artwork too. But anyway, so there you go. And one more. I was buying Phil Collins singles. I figured I would pick this up. Both Sides of the Story. And the song Always live on the B-side. And this is another ugly Virgin plastic label. So I will not bother to show you that, but here's this. Nice copy actually of the single. The sleeve is in good shape. So this is it, man, for Phil. Let's go ahead and do the, this will be a celebration of the 3-piece Genesis set. So I'm now going to show you Tony Banks, my Tony Banks 45 collection, and this is from his first album. This is a single. For a While. It is from the album A Curious Feeling. This is a promotional 45 that comes with this little insert with the lyrics, and it's not stereo mono. It's stereo, but it's a white label pressing. This is in fantastic shape, and it looks like, well, it looks like one side is more compressed than the other side. I don't believe it. I think that's an optical illusion. It actually has a stamp, November 26th, and it was released in the fall, if I remember correctly. I have a feeling that this was, it's on the famous Charisma label. I have a feeling that this was at a radio station, and it probably did get a lot of airplay, which is something that Tony seems to bitch about every now and again. I'm sorry, Tony. You know, sometimes these things happen and you just gotta suck it up. Just let it go. So, but anyway, so this is, Tony's a promotional single for a while. Obviously, this is a domestic pressing. And here is a British stock release of the same song for a while, and this is slightly remixed with a Curious Feeling on the B-side. And I have to admit, I really like the early singles on Charisma. This is one of the few labels that I don't mind seeing it with that, you know, a molded gray or silver label. The Charisma, the famous Charisma label for a while, and a Curious Feeling. So the A side was slightly remixed. This percussion seems to be a little quieter. And one of his keyboards seems to be up in the mix. Plays these kind of sort of lush chords, and they're up in the mix. CB 365. This was released, oh, no date on here, huh? $1979, there it is. Yep. From Tony's second album, Charm. Oh, This Is Love. And the B-side, Charm. Custom labels. All right. When he put his, I think this came out in '83. Yeah, 1983. I see it. And when he put this this album out, I thought it was okay. It wasn't great, but it was a pleasant listen for me. It's kind of a weird time in my life. Charm. Right, and the only other single from that album was And the Wheels Keep Turning, with the B-side Man of Spells. They were both album tracks. No non-album B-sides. And I don't know if these were remixed or anything. No custom label this time either. It's just it's this blue label, but it is a paper label, and I kind of dig it actually. Seeing the blue Charisma label on a single, it's kind of cool. I guess I'm kind of weird because I'm like, I think that's cool. All right, and then Here is a single taken from the Soundtracks album, Shortcut to Somewhere with Fish. Right? Shortcut to Somewhere with Fish, and the B-side is Smilin' Jack Cassidy. And again, it's get off my record. Here's Shortcut to Somewhere. I don't even know if I ever played this because I have the 12-inch, so I probably just played the 12-inch every time. Smilin' Jack Cassidy. Smilin' Jack Cassidy. So Tony worked with Fish. You wonder what kind of dirty jokes they were telling each other. I don't know what's going on here, but it's a nice shot for the picture sleeve. Of course, with the Fish wearing that Abacab shirt, it's pretty cool. And here is an EP. I think this might be from the same album, but I can't, or there maybe some of these are. Maybe this is a loan. Soundtrack co-op, blah, 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 blah. Here you go. Let me show you what this is. Perform songs from Lorca and the Outlaws. So, yeah, maybe this is not from that Soundtracks album. I don't see where it says it is. And, oh, here's the B-side. This is what I was looking at, trying to figure out what's going on. It's very, very busy. But there's nothing in here that says that any of these tracks are from the Soundtracks album, and I'm just too. Yeah, both. All right, so it's an EP. And interesting EP where side A or side 1 has 2 tracks, as you can see. You Call This Victory and Red Wing. Tony produced this both from the motion picture Lorca and the Outlaws. And side B is Lion of Symmetry with Toya and Tony Banks. That's who it's credited to. And it looks like it's credited, the writing is credited to Banks and Wilcox, so there you go. And again, it's from that same movie, Lorca and the Outlaws. Side A, side B. All right. Cool. So there you go, man. Yeah, this is apparently not from an album. Not that I'm aware of. And that's where I stopped collecting Tony Banks singles. And we are now looking at Mike Rutherford's solo records. I have a lot of duplicates, so this is gonna go fast. And what's interesting is kind of like with Tony Banks, Mike Rutherford or Passport Records released a promotional copy of a single, Moonshine. This single, Moonshine, oh, and this is actually a promotional copy of the record. It's funny because it's not a white label, but Passport Records, maybe they saved money by not pressing like a white label. It says promotional copy on it anyway. And it's an alternate edit of Working in Line. And side A. Oh, wait a minute. Oh yeah, Working Line's the B-side. Moonshine is the A-side. But this is an alternate edit of Moonshine. It's a different edit from the album. It's shorter, and it has some prominent keyboard parts that you don't hear as they're on the album, but they're not as prominent. It's a different mix and a different edit. Moonshine, same thing. It's a different, well, maybe not a different mix, but definitely a different edit. And for those reasons, I find this to be an interesting release. And here are a few more copies of this record. A few more copies of this record because it's so, those two mixes and edits are so different. And here are British releases, time and time again. And the B-side, it says, At the End of the Day, but it's not At the End of the Day. It says it on the single too. It is Overnight Job, which was a good, that's another track from the album. And yeah, I like, man, I love this. Mike's first solo album, Small Creeps Day, I think is a fucking, sorry, I was trying to avoid that. I think it's a great record. Noel McCalla. It features Anthony Phillips on keyboards, and he does a brilliant job. Anthony Phillips is he is like a secret ingredient. He's so good, and even like his solo stuff is really nice. Like his some of it, he's got he's got 4 or 5 like proper solo records that are like, you know, just rock records. Then he's got this Private Parts and Pieces series, and then he's got all kinds of other releases, just odd stuff. And I think I did do a video of his of the vinyl that I have, but I don't think I did my CD collection because it's just ridiculously, there's so much. It's a lot. Here's another copy of Time and Time Again. I don't think that there are any singles that actually have At the End of the Day as on the B-side. I don't know. Here is a single, Working in Line. This is from Holland or the Netherlands, and the B-side is has a non-album track called Compression. And here you go. Here's the beautiful famous Charisma label out of could have sworn it was out of Holland, but anyway, doesn't matter. These were relatively common. You could find these pretty easily, and they weren't very expensive. So, you know, I ended up getting another copy, of course. And I think Compression is a beautiful, beautiful piece of music. Kind of intense, kind of deep. Just really a beautiful song. Now we move on to his second album, Halfway There, A Day to Remember. This is on WEA. It's a British release. And I actually like, I'm not a big fan of Mike's voice. I think I'm kind of like, maybe I'm like him about it. He was like, well, he doesn't even really like it, I don't think. But he gave it a shot. There's some really good songs on this song, on the album. But it's Mike singing, and you know, it's kind of rough. Here is Acting Very Strange and Couldn't Get Arrested, Nick's mix. It's an alternate mix from the album. Couldn't Get Arrested is one of my favorite songs on the album. The single mixes on the 7-inch and the 12-inch, I don't like as much. I like the album version much more. All right. The duplicate. Here is Hideaway. And what's great about this single is it's got a song, Calypso. It's a non-album track. Again, WEA. So this came out in Europe. All right. Typical European B-side. Hey, buy these too. And now Mike and the Mechanics, Silent Running. And here's a domestic pressing of Silent Running. Par Avion is on the B-side here. I Get the Feeling is on the B-side here. Both of them are from the album. All I Need Is a Miracle and You Are the One. Both from the album. Domestic single. Taken In and A Call to Arms. A Call to Arms was that the one song on this album written by all three members of Genesis at the time. So that was Banks, Collins, and Rutherford. And then I have Nobody's Perfect and Nobody Knows from the following album. A domestic single. And here is Living Years and Too Many Friends. I think Too Many Friends is a non-album B-side. And yeah, that's what it looks like. So that's it, man. You can see I scrambled to try to, because my music ran out. So there it is. That's it. Collins, Banks, and Rutherford 12-inch collection. And that's the end of that. And I will upload this, and maybe I'll see you next time. See you. Bye.